Here.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it. And it's all done in the best possible way.
Welcome and happy Friday, everybody. Hope all you Knights of the Rhomboid table have had a good week. It feels like my last stream was a year ago. I know I normally say it feels like yesterday, but no. I have been completely cut off from YouTube for a week. Most of you probably saw my post or Facebook post. It was nothing sad or tragic or angry. I'm working on something offline, and YouTube is a huge distraction for me. I start watching videos and I watch more videos and more videos and more videos. I comment on all the videos, and then I don't get stuff done I need to get done. It's a cocaine. I have been addicted to YouTube. And then we had all kinds of family stuff going on. We had Cayenne's birthday party. Then we had my birthday, and then we had Cayenne's actual birthday. And my daughter had a couple of long work days, so I had Cayenne, including on my birthday, I had him all day because he just stayed with me until his mom and dad could come over for my birthday. And I'm working on something. I've probably put in 12 to 13-hour days. I have been doing nothing else but working on this project. And if the project comes out, I will show it. Hopefully, I'm hoping Sunday, if not Monday, I will reveal it to the world Sunday or Monday. So anyhow, welcome in, everybody. It's great to see you. Let's go straight to the greetings and then show you a little bit of how the birthday went. So I'm just going to start with my chat list as more people come in. Hello, Andy81E and Andy Dobson. Nice to have you, fellow Knights here. Pete at Delft Junction. Great to have you here. Andy, the hot dog pilot. Ifo Van Zoon. Nice to have you here. Jean Ricard, my good friend. It was really nice to take a needed break and talk to you for a little bit the other day. Joseph Agliato is here. Dwight Curley, nice to have you. Leslie Gilpin, you've put up 3 videos I saw, and again, I would love to watch them, but if I start watching videos, I will not get done what I need to get done, and I have a deadline I need to reach. So my good friend Dino, Model Railway Shed, how are you? Ray Bobel, nice to have you here. Rick, I hope you're feeling well. Nice to have you here. Simon from SJ Train World, always great to see you. Willkommen. Van Dan Eisenbahn, great to have you here. And Rick and or Pauline from Well Chuffed Railways, awesome to see you. And I really don't like the fact that I miss your video this week. I watched one last weekend, sort of I think it was Bolton. See, I don't even remember. But I know you posted at least one more because I love watching your toy fair videos, your toy show and train show videos. They're some of my, at the risk of hurting anybody's feelings, they're some of my favorite things to watch just because I was a toy collector for years as my other hobby or other occupation. Lee just came in. How are you, my friend Lee? Good to have you here. Lee is closing in on 1,000, and Lee will be live sometime, and I'm sure he'll post it a few times. But they aren't that great. You can say that. I think they are great. But be that as it may. So yes, it was my birthday. It was Kyan's birthday, of course, and it was my birthday. And I got 2 sets of gifts that I would love to take some time and share with you. The first one, I don't know if he would be in the background or if you'll watch this later, but Joyce bought me gifts through Mark at Donegal Dad Railway. He came across a lot of Märklin stuff, and originally he asked me would I want some of it, and he was going to bring it to Getz, and we would just go through it at Getz, and I'd buy what I want. But when Getz fell through, he contacted Joyce and said, would you like to buy this for Anthony as a birthday or Christmas present? And Joyce said, well, yeah, show me what you got. And they worked out a deal. So let me start with that. So Mark sent the package nicely protected and wrapped. So this will take a little bit of time. I know some of you are anxious to see my steamer collection because I don't usually run steamers, but we'll do that today. But it's all, I think they're all beer wagons. There might be 1 or 2 that aren't beer wagons, but it spans generations. I've got Primex. And here's one of my favorite beers in the world, Pilsner Urquell from Pilsen, the old German city that's now a Czech city, which is the namesake for Pilsner beer. And Pilsner is probably my favorite type of beer. But beautiful car from Primex. If you don't know, Primex was an independent company that Märklin acquired, and then Märklin releases, they use Primex to release old style things. They still release a few things on Primex each year just to keep the license name. But I think that's a beautiful car right there, and I can add that to my beer drinking train because I have had Pilsner Urquell many times, and like I said, it's probably one of my favorite beers, along with Staro. Here's another one, the Krombacher Reichelbräu. This is an old car, and it's gorgeous. I love this, and it's in the blue box, and if I remember correctly, the blue box is 60s and 70s, maybe into the 80s. But that's that one. I got to find a place to stack these all because there's a lot of them. Just to let you know, there's a lot of them. And I even got a little button, and I got a colander from him as well. I won't take these out of the box if I could show them. This Weihenstephan is a very good beer. I like, so this one can go on. The car is beautiful. That dark blue and then the golden color of the beer and the white print. This is just a gorgeous car. Who else just came in? Hi is here. Hello, Hi. Hope you're well. Anybody else I missed? But there's that. Let's do the ones that are in that. A Veltins. I have never had Veltins. I have never had it. It's everywhere, and I have never actually tried one. So one of these days I'll have to try one. Hey, Graham from Leamington Station, how are you? So there's that one. And Haunted Halloween Railway, welcome in. The Dortmunden Kronen. I've never been to Dortmund, and I've never had a Dortmunder Kronen. So there's another one. But again, a very cool car. Joyce, I have to say, it was awesome that Mark had these and offered them to Joyce. But really, Joyce showed me the full selection. And I got to give props to Joyce. She picked awesome ones. I mean, she didn't pick a loser. There weren't losers. But if I would have said these are the 10 best, she picked them. If I would have said these were the 20 best, she probably got 19 out of the 20. She was on fire. We got the Vikula Pilsner. So another really cool one. We got several Stuttgarter Hofbräu, which I have had, and I actually have one. I'm trying to read the, Tim is here. My good friend Tim Dowd. Nice to have you here. Stuttgarter Hofbräu. I hope you guys don't mind me going through here. I mean, I suppose I could just ignore it and go to the trains, but I thought I'd take some time. Weihenstephan, another Weihenstephan, a very, I don't want to say basic one, but, you know, older version, you know, earlier era, but again, very cool. Very cool. Another Stuttgarter Hofbräu. And very sharp. Very sharp. So I have at least 3 because I got one in that kit I bought a couple of months ago. One of my favorites, and I will take this one out. Now, along with that, which one was it now? The dark blue one. The Weihenstephan. Along with that Weihenstephan, Joyce picked this one out, and I just love this one. I've never had the beer, but this is a gorgeous little beer car. And I know it's the same car, and they just put different logos on it, but the logo makes all the difference. Küstrike. That's a gorgeous beer car. Anybody agree? I don't even know if anybody's watching. Schwarzbier. And I do like Schwarzbier. I like dark beers or black beer, but I think that's just gorgeous. I love that one. It's probably, along with the Weihenstephan, it's one of my 2 favorites in the group. I don't mind picking favorites when they're kind of obvious, but those 2 just stood out. Another Primex, a Beck's beer. So I got another Beck's beer. Of course, Beck is probably the beer I've had the most in Germany. It's not my favorite. It's a good one. It's a good one over there, but it's not my favorite. A Gantner, which I see in lots of places in Germany. I've never had one. Again, I think my next trip to Germany, I'm going to have to try some of these beers if I see them, just to go, well, I've got a train car for it, so I need to get it. Hey, Randall Ellison is here. And one more. And when I opened this up, I was like, did Mark throw something in as a joke? Or did Joyce not think? It's in a box, and it looks like the box itself is a build kit where you build your own wagon, and it says Ford. Now, I don't know if my first reaction was Mark's being funny. He just threw that in. Oh, it's a Ford. You're a Dodge, it's Ford. And of course, Dodges hate Ford. But no. It was another one. I just love this car. It's an older model. Stauffenbräu from the old Hohenstaufen family, the Friedrich Barbarossa and Friedrich II. Holy Roman Emperors in the 12th and 13th century. Stauffenbräu. So that's just beautiful. So that is all the cars. I did get a Donegal calendar, so thank you for that, Mark. That's cool. We hang that up in our bedroom, and we do mark dates on it. I hope that's not a bad thing. So let me put those away, then I'll show you the birthday/Christmas present that I got Thursday. Now, if anybody knows my buddy Mark at Model Railway Fantasia, he already posted a video because he got it the same day I did, but he was several hours ahead of me. And again, I have been so busy, I didn't even think to do, well, I thought to do a first impressions video, but I decided, no, I've got to finish what I'm working on, which is kind of a, something I am stressing about. There's a couple of people who know, but I don't want the surprise ruined. I also got, so my apologies real quick, I got a birthday card and a holiday card from Tammy and Ray at Mom and Son Rail Fanning page. So thank you very much. And I also got little puzzle pieces for autism awareness, which is very important to me because I'm autistic. So thank you very much for that, Tammy and Ray. That was a pleasant surprise, a lovely surprise. So let's go to the big gift. Now, I knew this would become a birthday / Christmas present once they announced, oh yeah, it's gonna be coming out. Now, I pre-ordered this in August of 2022, so it's been 16 months since I ordered this. End of July, early August, when they announced they were releasing, or actually not even when they announced they were releasing it, when I decided to get it, when I reserved it before they were sold out, because they did sell out. You can't buy these now. You either pre-ordered one or you're out of luck. Anyhow, this is from Brava, a company I have a couple of things from, and I am always impressed with Brava. But what this is, and let me see, who else has come in? Has anybody else new come in? I think I said hi to Randall. Raymond Legs is here. Hi, Raymond. How are you? Yeah, okay. So, you know, I got these yesterday, and Kyan was begging me to run them, and no, I can't, because I'd have to run them in, and I had already set up for today's show, and I didn't want to take things off the tracks to do this. I probably could have run this in under the Christmas tree, but cats would not have been fun. But this is a Twindex Vario electrical motor unit. I believe the class is 449. I could be wrong. But I believe it's called class 449. But basically, instead of a locomotive, some cars, and a control cab, it's control cab at both ends with cars in the middle. And it's 1, 2, or 3 cars. These can be in a 3-car consist, 4-car consist, or 5-car consist, counting the control cabs as one of those cars. So I got this. And these are absolutely beautiful. And they're true 187 scale. So these are big. I'll take the non-control car out, but I'll put this one up here. Again, now this is Bavarian, but for my layout, I'll just pretend it's not. Because they actually released this in 3 different variants for 3 different regions. And by the time I saw them from Brava, they were already sold out of the first 2 variants. So the only one I could get was the Bavarian version. Let's see if I could get that. But just very, very nice. Very nice. I can't wait to finish everything else in life so I can start playing with these. I'm thrilled with these. Those are, and the other thing is I got the expansion car. So I will be running a 4-car consist with it, but I got the expansion car. So I'm just, this is beautiful. I've been waiting for this for 16 months, and it finally arrived. And coming down today to sit here, turning on the computer and checking my email for the first time in a few hours, I got an email from Model Bond Shop Lipa. My last pre-order is in. So I'm not going to get it before Christmas. I might get it before the end of the year. But I haven't paid for it yet, so they probably won't get the payment until Tuesday, and they probably won't ship it out till middle to end of next week, depending on how many days they take off for Christmas. And then you have the New Year, so it'll probably be 2, maybe even 3 weeks before I see it. And I'll do a video on this when I run it in and check it all out. So that was my birthday, and I'm grateful for it. I'm amazed at what Joyce chose. I mean, she couldn't have done a better job. I mean, she showed me the other cars, and there were others. I said, oh, you could have got me that, and you could have got me that, and you could have got me that. But would I have traded it for one she got me? No. Because she did have a budget. She did have a budget. But there are definitely more, and if Mark watches this video or is in the background listening, I would be interested in buying a few more. So that was my birthday. I'm thrilled that these came in. I was hoping these would have come in earlier in the year so they weren't going to become my birthday/Christmas gift. But hey, it is what it is. I got a win, and I'm just thrilled with that. Well, hi, Dirk. How are you? Great to have you here. So, all right, let's get trains running. Because in the middle of this, there's been a little bit of bad news with trains. My Azuma, the coupler from the power car to the car behind it, that coupler, something has broken or is jammed. And I haven't had a chance to take it apart, but it keeps, as it goes around a curve and straightens up again, there's something that blocks the female coupler on the power cab, stops it from swinging back into place. I've taken it apart, messed with it, and I'm trying to see why it's jamming, because sometimes it jams, sometimes it doesn't, but it keeps derailing. When it comes out of a curve and the curve pulls it over and then it derails, it doesn't snap back into place. So when it's going straight, it's still pulling the car, and the car behind it derails. And I thought, well, maybe it's the car, and I changed, but it's the coupler. So I've got to take it apart and see why that coupler is suddenly acting up. That's why it was derailing last week. So I've now figured out why, because the coupler is kind of bent, which must have occurred when Kyan knocked the whole thing over when he was helping me pack everything up for when the window people came in a couple of weeks ago. It was purely an accident. I'm not mad at him at all. It's, it happens. He was trying to help, and I had one thing, and he's like, oh, I get this one. And he tried to pick up the power cab with two hands like he's taught. It's like it's still connected, and oops, the cars went sideways. So that bent. So I'll figure it out. Anyhow, let's look. Today is my Christmas live stream. I have in the past done Christmas Eve and Christmas Day live streams. I don't plan on that because so many people are doing Christmas streams, and my 3 hours on a Friday is enough to abuse the world with. So I do on the Friday before Christmas, the last 2-3 years, since I've had more than one, I now do Steamerpalooza. I run steamers. So why don't we go to the steamers and you can see what we got, because for the first time ever, I can run 6 steamers. I have 6 steamers now. The Flying Scotsman was number 6. So let me go through these steamers. The first one is the Christmas train that has graciously volunteered to come downstairs and run on the main layout today. So that's in lane 1, my Christmas train. It is a steamer, but its steamer doesn't seem to always work consistently. So the ones that can blow steam, I have loaded them up with Sloita fluid, and we'll see if any of them blow steam. The Flying Scotsman was working fine last time I did it. But be that as it may, we'll see how they work once we get everything rolling. So lane, and that's a class 01 locomotive. That is a class 01 locomotive there in black and red. Then behind it is the miscolored but gorgeous looking Flying Scotsman. Just a beautiful locomotive. Behind that is a 18, I forget if it's an 18.3, 18.4, Bavarian Rheingold Express train from the 1920s and 30s. And then the next lane, also in black and red, is a class 18.5. And I forget which one is the Württemberger C class. They're all related to it. Is 18.4 the Württemberger C class or 18.5? whatever. And it is also a Rheingold, but it is the German state version. So you got the Bavarian state version of the Rheingold, and you got the German state version of the Rheingold, which is a newer version. Okay, way in the back is that Prussian, I shouldn't say way in the back, but the furthest one of the lane 5s is that little Prussian PR8 I got much earlier this year. Gorgeous little locomotive and old. It's the oldest in terms of when it was built locomotive I have. I believe it dates back to the early 80s. No, late 80s, because it does have a bass decoder in it. It's got one of Märklin's earliest first bass decoders in it. Hey, Tom Couples is here. Great to have you. And then way in the back is a fictional steam locomotive called Emma. Germans and Europeans would probably recognize it. It is Emma from a movie. Now, again, you may not know the movie, and therefore wouldn't recognize it as Emma. But Emma is a locomotive from a book called, in English, Jim Button and the Locomotive Driver, and Lucas, the Locomotive Driver. And it's a very complicated story that maybe I'll talk about later, but it's a fictional world, and there's this island called Lummerland, and Jim is a baby that washes ashore, and he's adopted by a woman, and then Lucas, the engine driver, is kind of a surrogate father to him, and Emma is a sentient locomotive. Emma is alive. She's aware, and they go on adventures. Long story, but so that is a very fictional locomotive in the background, that 060 back there. So that's the set. So why don't we get things in motion, and then I can finally really pay attention to everybody. And you're all sick of hearing my voice now anyhow. I'm sick of hearing my voice. So we will get everybody in motion. I'm going to let them run and warm up a bit. Then I'll see how the steam is working on them. Now, until I got Emma ready and ran Emma in with Cayenne yesterday, Emma had not run in 2 years, at least 2 years. She has not run in a while. I tried to run her on a live stream cold, and she banged into a couple of things. The P8 is from 97. The mold was first issued in 68. 97. Okay, I thought it was 87. Okay. Hey, Chris, how are you, model train aficionado? Great to have you here. And 156 Andrew. So I'm going to start with the multi-view while I set up and hope that the UK trains are working. They were working earlier. They were working yesterday. And then, well, last week was the same thing. They were running fine, and then I started live streaming, and both trains for the UK stopped working. So let me go to the UK camera, the floor cam. And because it's Steamerpalooza, I am running my one and only UK steamer, the Mallard. I'm going to slow it down just a bit, even if it was the steam speed record holder. Yes, I saw the Edelweiss set, and I would love it, but it is a fortune. I can't see dropping that kind of money on a set that I would probably only occasionally run. That's a very gorgeous and very expensive set of cars. And I agree with that, Dirk. But I'm biased to the crimson maroon color over green anyhow. Hey, Mark, there you are. Yeah, I will let you know. I have not run these in. I have not even had them on track. I kind of briefly took them out of the box when I got them in yesterday after I emailed you and told you I got mine. And I loved seeing yours running in that little video because I did catch that because you're one of the people I get a very specific notification from. Model Railway Fantasia has posted blank on YouTube, you know. And so I did check that because I knew you had gotten this car set as well. Hey, Clive, how are you? Nice to have you here. But that's everybody. So now that the UK is going, and I'm running the Beatles single train. I think I typed EuroStar, but I changed my mind and forgot to change it on the YouTube. So there we go. We'll go with the multi-view, and you can pick out which camera you like to see. But, yeah, just wound up being kind of it's been a frantic week. Like I said, it feels like forever. I don't even remember last week's live stream. I just, going on today, I noticed it didn't get a lot of views, so apparently it wasn't worth remembering. Sunday at 9 p.m. Simon, if you're going live, I will do my best. I am literally hoping to be done with this project tomorrow night so that I can share it on Facebook and other places. It's a project of love, but it has been just, it's huge. And I started on it late. I should have been working on it a while ago, but I just, I was dealing with other things, and yeah, and that actually plays a couple of German Christmas carols too. In about 5 minutes, I think I'll try to see if any of them are gonna blow steam. My 18.5, yeah, that is from a 2017 set. That brand new cost the equivalent of about $1,250. Well, in the United States, it was $1,399. In Germany, it was about 1,150 euros when it was new. I didn't pay remotely close to that. I bought it for $325. That entire Rheingold with that gorgeous 18.5 with all the new, it's got the new decoder, it's got an MFX Plus decoder, and then the decoder in the passenger, or not passenger, the luggage coach, baggage coach. This is the one that's got the sounds of a couple having dinner with the waiter asking them, would you like champagne? And the sound of fork and knife scraping on plate, and the people going, oh, this is delicious, and the sound of a champagne bottle popping open and champagne being poured. Modellbahnshop Lippe Do they have some in stock? Because I was told they were selling out, or that they had sold out. Maybe they ordered a couple of extra. Yeah, the advent calendar this year is interesting. I think that's the only way to put it, is that there's a lot of cool figures in it. And I gotta let you know, when I make jokes about the deer, when I'm like, oh, look, another deer, I'm doing that sarcastically. I'm not actually criticizing the selection, because, you know, I'm just doing it for dramatic, comedic effect. Oh, look, another deer. Sort of like with the chainsaw guys last year. Because it was, I do have a lot of deer, and it was weird that Noak had a package of 6 deer included, and it is 6 deer, and we've got all 6, so I should not be getting another deer from Noak. But I'm fully expecting to see another deer from Fowler, and that's the weird thing, that both of them released. You know, Fowler, it looks like it's 3 warthogs and 3 deer. And then you got, now the thing is, you got to go back, when you look at the figures, like my buddy Richard Brown, he always says, let's guess what's in there. And my thing is, I'm a detective mindset anyhow. When I'm looking at the figures, when you start getting, I start thinking, what set would they come with? So when I got a minister, I'm expecting, you know, either a funeral or a wedding group. And maybe the man in the suit with his hands, maybe he's at the church, you know, he's hallelujah or something like that. But yeah, I was still waiting to see if there were additional figures. Now, it could be that one of the sets they included was a 4 or 5 figure set, and they just threw the priest in to add up to 24. But again, if you don't understand the advent calendars from Fowler and Noak, it's 24 figures. Fowler and Noak traditionally release their little mini figure sets in groups of 6. 6 people, 4 people and 2 benches, 4 people and 2 shopping carts, 3 people and 3 laundry lines. You know, it's some combination of 6. And Prizer as well. At least their basic lines. When they release special lines, that might be 4, it might be 8, you know, whatever. But be that as it may, so it was just weird. We got so many wild animals. Last year was chainsaws, this year it's deer. But we've got 4 more figures to see. 2 for tomorrow and 2 for Sunday. And I don't know what they are, because I don't film those. I do film those the night before, okay? That's a little secret if you didn't know. I film those the night before. If anybody knows, like, I thought you had Cayenne on Thursday, but you're doing Cayenne and saying it's Friday. Yeah, Cayennes are the only one, the ones with Cayenne I do early. But that, yesterday was his last one anyhow. Actually, the one that came out today, we filmed it yesterday. He's getting a little too squirrely. And he starts going, well, I can do this and I can do that. Let me do this. And he's going to grab the figures. The video I edited today, I think, was 3.5 minutes, and I took out 3 minutes of Cayenne. Of Cayenne, put that back. Cayenne, I need this in the camera. Cayenne, let him go. Cayenne, put the tweezers down. Cayenne, no, don't open that door, Cayenne. We can only open one door today, Cayenne. Because he's so into it and he wants to help. Yeah, 6 Lords of Leaping. Really, I'd find the cheese advent calendar very interesting, because I love cheese. Most of your steam locos are 040s. Yeah, number one, I'm not into shunting locomotives, period, although I guess you could argue that Emma is a shunting locomotive. I'm not into steam locomotives, but yeah, look at those. And I'm actually looking, there's one more steam locomotive I'd like to get, but the newest version is not available from my usual locations. I would like a BR50 to commemorate the BR50 Joyce and I saw in the town of, I think it was Triberg. Big BR50. And I think I'd like to get a BR50 steamer. Hello, Monsville. A beer advent calendar. That sounds cool. That'd have to be big, though, or you get it in a case. 24-can case. That'd still be pretty good size. Hey, Andy from Arch West Junction. How are you? And again, Monsville, very sorry to hear about. Maybe you don't want your business out there. Your dog Rosie that you had all these years. I'm sorry. BR50 is about as common as you can get. Yeah, I was looking at a Märklin one, and the most recent Märklin one, the only one I could find was on. I don't think Lipa had it in stock. Now, there's one from Roco I could get, but I'd rather get the Märklin one. And the one from Märklin I can only find online for $380, and I don't want to spend that much for it. I can get older ones for cheaper, okay? I can get older ones for much cheaper. I found analog one for $100 and a basically one equivalent to the PR8 early Delta Digital or whatever for about $140. But I didn't want to buy those now just as a whim buy because it's Christmas. And Joyce had already finished shopping for me. So, all right, let me see if I can convince some of these steamers to, in fact, steam. And which Rheingold? 3U. We'll try you guys, and we'll see if any of these guys suddenly start steaming. Yeah, and I know that much. I know the BR50 is the predecessor of the 52, and the 52 was a big workhorse. But Joyce and I just saw a BR50, and it was huge for us. And I mean, I've been to model railway museums and have seen some big locomotives, but the BR50 was a rather impressive sized one. And I happened to see one for sale on eBay. All right, the Christmas one is steaming. Let me see if I can find it quick. Where's the, darn it, come on. There you go. So hey, did I see Peter Jackson's here? Hi, Peter. So that one is steaming. The Flying Scotsman has not started steaming yet. Oh yeah, he is. The Flying Scotsman is steaming. Just it's very faint. Let's see, you might see it in this camera coming past you. Oh, just a little too fast, darn it. Here, if I put my hand, you kind of see it there. So I got two of them going. I'm waiting for the Rheingold to start, but the Rheingold has had issues. It's like, hey, Grandpa Rails, Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas to all who are celebrating. Happy Hanukkah to those who are still in. I believe we're still in Hanukkah, but it might have ended. My apologies if I'm late on that. But yeah, the Flying Scotsman's got a little stream going. And I'm still waiting to see if that Rheingold will start. Yeah, the Rheingold is putting out a little bit. Just a faint amount. I really wonder if I need to replace it. Let's come around here. You might see the Rheingold putting out just a little bit. The other two locos, that one right there, there's just a faint trace coming out. And there you can see the Flying Scotsman is definitely blowing his smoke. So I've got two of the three that can blow smoke doing it. Now I can add a smoking unit to that PR8, and I believe to the Bavarian Rheingold I can add the smoking unit as well. I just need to order them, or next time I go up to Ormondy's, which is my local shop, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes away. I don't know if you were able to hear the, you'll see it, there it goes, so you can see it going up. But yeah, he smokes well. But that one is supposed to be timed on the chuffs, that it blows. You know, you get puff, 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 puff as the motor goes. Chuff, 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 you know. Oh, do we have a derailment on the UK? No derailment, it just stopped. I mean, that's something that drives me crazy with the Mallard. It'll just, like, it loses contact. Yeah, the Mallard didn't derail, it just stopped. But yeah, that's the one thing. I've seen guys get a lot of steam out of the, see, a lot of guys get a lot of steam out of the Flying Scotsman. Mine does not steam a lot. Yeah, it's a Hornby. All my UK trains are Hornby. I was planning on picking up a Bachmann, a Daypool, a Cura scale while I was at Getz, just to see something else from the UK. I didn't know whether I'd get a diesel or try to find another steamer. Or find like somebody that makes a better version of the Mallard, a more detailed, less flimsy version of the Mallard than the one I had. I just have to keep an eye out because now the thing is, the Flying Scotsman has an automatic shutoff, so when it runs out of oil, it shuts off. And I thought I gave it enough, but apparently not. But I will, maybe in a little bit when Joyce comes down, I will reload them up. But for now, the ones that are blowing smoke, I will let them keep going. And the ones that aren't blowing smoke, well, we'll just have to wait. You got two A4s, only the Hornby one likes your layout. Now, my Hornby runs better on the Trix track than it did on the Hornby track I got originally, and then the Bachmann track. And I usually don't have a problem, but last week and this week it just randomly stops. You know, it's the bogies are very. I'm sure I should go in and adjust the wheel spacing, you know, and because they just seem to be a little loose. So sometimes if it comes around a curve, it can suddenly slide a bit, and oops, it's no longer. Yeah, actually, I would love to get the Märklin 01 version just like this that is not Christmas. But again, since I've got an, I really don't want to invest too much more money into steamers. I mean, I would like to get a really cool looking German streamliner. Like I said, I was tempted to get a BR50. But, you know, I'm not into steam, and I've got 6 steam locomotives counting Emma. And I love them all. I think they're all gorgeous models. I wish Märklin had been a little more precise on getting the color right with the Flying Scotsman. I think the people complaining about the smokestack are like just hypercritical and need to take a chill pill, because looking at the pictures, it really isn't that noticeable. But you know, these guys see 0.5 millimeters and can go ballistic about it. But yeah, the color is not accurate. And I don't know why Märklin did not, you know, to me they kind of dropped the ball on that for their, but it's a beautiful runner. It runs well. It looks sharp. If it weren't the Flying Scotsman, everybody would be saying what a gorgeous locomotive it is. But because it's modeled on an actual locomotive, you've got to dot your I's and cross your T's. Thanks, Steve. I got the Brava Twindex Vario, and that's the only locomotive I got. Otherwise, I got a box full of beer wagons. And that's my thing. I love my steam locomotives that I have. I think the Bavarian set here from 2002 is gorgeous. I think the Rheingold set from 2017, that is my Orient Express. It is gorgeous. I love the lamps that light up. But I've seen that with various Pullman and wagons for Hornby cars. And in some ways, I think some of those really nicely lit, you know, where the tables clearly have a tablecloth on them, sort of bit, those higher end Hornby luxury Pullman coaches and that, I think those are gorgeous. I think they are absolutely outstanding. And I will, you know, if Hornby's not making the greatest locomotives right now, I will still give Hornby credit. They make some gorgeous rolling stock, or they made some gorgeous rolling stock. I just think, but the coolest coaches I have are either my ICE4 with the multi-shade coloring for the cars, the warm to cool lighting that you can change back and forth, and my Rheingold, my 1928 Rheingold, as we call it. Model looks as it did in 1928, because those cars are just beautiful. Coming right here. You'll see it coming right in front of you here. Those coaches are just beautiful. They light up. They're well detailed inside. The Tiffany lamps on each table that light up are just beautiful. It's very cool. Walters bought Lifelike. Yeah, Lifelike. Yeah, Lifelike, I think, owned a lot of stuff from Tyco. Picked up a lot of stuff from Tyco, or they were owned by the same company and it became, it's like old Tyco slot cars. Lifelike slot cars are, as you said, old Tyco slot cars. Speaking of which, there is the Flying Dutchman. But see, that's the one thing, running all these steam trains, it's weird to not see all the steam billowing because these are steam trains. You need to see steam, so it looks weird to see all these steam trains rolling and no steam flying. Oh, okay, the train museum in Utrecht. I had to go back and see what's going on there. Yeah. Yeah, because I had Tyco slot cars when I was a kid, which was, to a degree, much more fun than model trains. But I did like slot cars where I didn't like model trains. And then I got into slot cars when my kids were little, and my kids love slot cars. And I started with the basic, what would you call it, 150 size, 1/50th scale size, the smaller version. And then we went up to, it was smaller than the 143. And then we went from that, we went to digital 132 with Carrera. And I had a huge Carrera set of track and a bunch of Carrera cars. I sold it all a few years ago, even before I got into trains. But I did have some of it that I sold after I got into trains. But yeah, I had Carrera digital 132, and those were awesome. But again, the kids grew up and moved out, and it just, it's something that when the kids were younger, even into their teen years, hey guys, I'm going to set up some slot cars. Do you want to race? And yeah, and they would bring their friends over, and their friends and I would race slot cars. We did the same thing with wargaming. My son would bring his friends, many of them my students, and we'd play war games. Yes, Jean Ricard. With the electric trains, I don't have catenary around the layout as well. But see, in my world, we don't need catenary. In my world, the trains park at night, and they have generators that charge up their electric batteries, and then they all have little lightning rods attached in the pantographs. So they just put the pantographs up and catch lightning when they can, and then they're charged up. They're all good. Life like Kellogg's van. Because see, my very first train, and the only train I had as a kid, was the Tyco. It was a Tyco Santa Fe Super Chief set that came with track, transformer, a F7 Super Chief locomotive, and then it had the dummy car, or the B unit, whatever you call it. It had 2 box cars. I remember one of them was a Baby Ruth. It had 2 flatbeds with 4 semi-trailers that were all Santa Fe. All the trailers said Santa Fe. It did not come with the trucks for the trailers. It was just trailers on the beds. There were no, you couldn't take them off. You could take them off, but you didn't have the semi-bits. And then there was a Santa Fe caboose. But there was 2 box cars, 2 flatbeds, a caboose, the locomotive, and I don't know, do you call it a dummy unit or whatever? It looked kind of like the F7, but it was just an empty, it was just an empty shell, no motor or anything in it, and it ran behind it. Did I see your YouTube short? No, I don't think I did. Again, this is the first time I have been on YouTube other than I stayed up late after I got done with working on my project. I was too wired, and I stayed up, and I'd gone 5 days without answering comments and emails, and I just spent 2-3 hours answering all the emails I had ignored, all the comments, the Facebook comments. In many cases, on Facebook, I just went through and gave thumbs up or hearts to everything. I have been completely social media cut off. I haven't been watching my comedy channels. I haven't been watching my political stuff. I haven't been watching my model train stuff. If I sit down and start watching YouTube, I go, oh my God, look at all my friends who have posted videos. I've got to watch these, and I've got to comment on them. And then I don't do the work. And so at least through Sunday, I probably still won't be. After I get off the YouTube here, hopefully I'll be done tomorrow night. I mean, I'm going to do Artie's stream. I'll be co-hosting Artie's stream. And I'm hoping I'll be done by tomorrow night, and that I can, Sunday I can go back to normal and resist the temptation to go back and catch everything I missed, because there's just no way I can. But I have missed seeing your videos. I mean, Peter and Leslie, you guys seem to have regulated times that you put stuff out. Like Leslie is like every third day or something like that. Usually good for a Saturday or a Sunday, sometimes both. Rabel Bell does every Friday. Artie does Fun Day Friday. Hey, Simo, how are you? I apologize, I didn't see you came in. But thanks for coming in. I'm sorry I did not even say hello when you came in. Hey, did I see my buddy Brian's here? Yes, I will not forget, because all my street lights are 3 volt. When I set them all up, I'm going to put them all on a USB 3.5. They should be able to handle that. But, Well Chuffed usually has a Sunday video and sometimes a midweek. The last Well Chuffed video I watched was their Lucky Dip. Which, again, I love to watch because I just, it's like sitting here with when Efo and Raymond and others start talking about locomotive histories and what's related to what and how these things are formed. Rick at Well Chuffed is the same. He's just got so much knowledge of this stuff. More the history of the companies and the model production, which, again, having been a toy collector and a toy aficionado, that's up my, I can't talk about model trains, but I can talk about versions of Coleco and Tyco electric football. Which now is done, I think electric football is now done through Lifelike, but they're not, the Colecos were the Lamborghinis of electric football. Early 70s Coleco electric football, they were twice the size of everybody else's electric football. Leslie, I would say, yeah, you should be able to get the size correctly. All right, Dino, you're leaving. Take care. Thanks for hanging out, my friend. I did see you posted your shed and had the, I think the BR-101 and the Czech Taurus in there. That was cool. I did see that because I think you also posted it on Facebook. But I'm glad those things have a better home than I was giving them. So good night, Dino. But, yeah, I was doing a trick, and I keep talking about it, but I never put the video up. I think I'll do it again if I'd like to do it. Joyce has already agreed to this. We're going to do a contest that regards the Advent calendars. And there was a joke or a theme running through this year's Advent calendar, and I'm not talking deer. but you would actually have to watch last year's advent calendars just briefly, along with this year's, to see if you could catch the joke. Now, I accidentally broke the joke yesterday because I was just so frantic with Cayenne, I forgot to set up the joke. I actually was prepared for it, I just forgot to do it. But there's a joke, and it's about last year's live streams versus this year's live streams. If you think you've already figured it out, because I've talked about the last couple of weeks, don't type anything in room, because like I said, we're going to do a contest and we're going to give away a small prize. Just a thank you for being our friends sort of thing. Have I ever seen... in the United States, yes. Not anywhere... Well, no, I would say in video, I've seen it on UK. I think I've seen like Leslie Gilpin, and I've seen some other people that post, you know, their rail fanning videos where there's a couple of freight cars attached to a passenger car. And I have seen it in the United States. Usually it's something unique and special. In Germany, never. In Austria, never. In the Czech Republic, never. Hey, Chris Attrell, how are you? I've heard of a coal scuttle, of course. Yeah, I could see Switzerland do it because their rail lines are heavily used, and they don't have, well, they have a lot for the size of the country and being mountainous, but yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like they can't afford to just say, well, we'll run 3 freight trains, 3 short freight trains and 3 short passenger trains. We'll throw some freight on a couple of these passenger trains and call it good. So I could easily see why Switzerland would do it. Which one? Personally, I think they're all cool. But the Christmas train, and these are some of the we did not buy this year's Märklin, but like my Flying Scotsman and those 4 crimson maroon cars are gorgeous. I love that blue and yellow Rheingold. And then, but this guy is my class. This is my closest thing I have to the Orient Express is that guy right there. The Rheingold, the 1928 Rheingold. That is my, the one thing I need is I need another baggage car to go in front of the passenger cars, because the proper, although you can have it where it doesn't have it, Märklin did sell sets that came with 2 baggage cars, one that went behind the locomotive and one that went on the end. But this set specifically only gives you the end one and not the front one. The serious PMG stuff with container cars. But, you know, again, I freely admit I'm ignorant when it comes to anything trains related. I know a little bit about modern German trains, and that's the limit of my world. I understand the nomenclatures, and when it comes to American trains, except for the stuff Randall Ellison tries to educate me on, I don't know anything about American trains. I know a lot more about British trains and can recognize British classes of trains, even from different eras. Like, I know what an A3 looks like. I know what an A4 looks like. I know what a Class 37 diesel is. I know what a Class 47 is. I know what a Class 66 is, because we have those in Germany, too. I'm not sure they didn't start in Germany, but I don't know. But with American locos, I think that's a 44. Nope, it's a 42. Damn. Because that's my first guess. I know what an F7 is. I know what an F7 is, and I might know what an F9 is. But I know what an F7 is. That's an F7. Well, no, actually, that's an F9. And then I go, are you sure it's not an F8? And they'll go, F8s never got released. They skipped right over it. It was a prototype and never made it, and they went straight to F9. And if Randall's here, he can correct me on it. And there's Richard, who, you know, for years, I have made sure I would watch every one of Richard's Advent live streams. Because they're fun. It's cool to watch him build multiple things. And he's the one who started the Advent calendar opening thing. I wouldn't be doing it if it weren't for him. And I haven't seen any of his videos this week at all. I mean, I missed most of them live, but at least I would watch them. But again, I have been off YouTube since I think I went to Sandy. I went to Andy's live stream on Sunday. And that was the last I've been on YouTube, other than today with the live stream. The Baywatch girl could have a painting a riverbed. I don't know what her particular preferences are, but I think there's a few of the HO scale guys that grew to 00 scale when the Baywatch girl got placed with them. That's a dirty model train joke right there. I've had to put a fence around the Baywatch girl. There's a lot of lonely men. There you go. See? And Randall, you're the one who taught me that. Because I asked you, and you taught me that. And I remembered. So you're a good teacher, because I learned it and remembered it. And again, if you people are not subscribed to these other people, especially the newer names, people that have only now begun hanging out in the chat, yeah, I broke 1,700. I think I officially broke it before last Friday. I think when I went live last Friday, I hit 1,701 subscribers. And then I had a... It's amazing. Apparently, I had a big week. I gained 15 subscribers the last 5 days without even being on YouTube. So apparently that's the way I grow. Stay off of YouTube. People will join my channel, and more people join my channel if I stay off YouTube. There's a message right there. Hey, Mark, welcome in. Oh, it's great to have you here. All right, yeah, now, but see right there, you mentioned it, EFO. You say Kriegslock, and I believe the 42's World War II. I do not have any interest or desire to model war-era trains, World War I or World War II. I'm not even into military trains. And I know that sounds weird. I'm into model trains, and I'm into military history. But as far as, I have, and I know guys that love their military trains. I have friends in Germany that have all kinds of World War II trains, Wehrmacht trains, and so forth. And it's not like I'm being wrong. I'm not. It's just, there's no interest in it for me whatsoever, so I don't even study them. When I see somebody else's layout, I think it's cool. Colin from SG PR8, whatever it was years ago, that now works for British Pico, he made several gorgeous World War I layouts. Model train layouts of World War I, which I think are beautiful. Hey, Jim at Hover Motion, how are you? Break time over. Now you gotta drive an 800. Well, in some ways that sounds cool because I like 800s. But anyhow, thanks for hanging out, Andy. That was cool, and it's cool you get to drive an 800. My favorite UK train. Outside the Mallard. Yeah, the big boy. And even Santa Fe is just a rail line. And the only, I know Santa Fe Super Chief. I know the rail line companies and roughly how they've all kind of condensed and combined. I remember when there was Baltimore in Ohio and Chesapeake in and now they're all chassis system. Merry Christmas to all of you that celebrate Christmas. We celebrate the Christmas and the gift giving. We call it Christmas, but we're not really on the religious side of it. We celebrate a few days late the winter solstice. Happy winter solstice to all my pagan friends. From now on, the days get longer, people. From now on, for us, the days get longer. For our friends down under, the days are getting shorter for you, but our days start getting longer. Well, I go back to my earliest videos, Randall, and I made errors. At the time, I thought that's what I had been told and what I had thought I had learned. And then 3 years later, you kind of look at them and go, oh, okay, that was wrong. But it's what people told me at the time, because I took notes. You know, when I would talk to somebody or watch videos and they would say things, and you know, and I know this. Because, you know, it's Facebook. I mean, you got all these organizations that specialize in putting out false information, and if you don't background check the news you're being given, and, you know, people immediately go, yeah, mainstream media. No, mainstream media actually, at least in the United States, has regulations about they have to have verifiable sources to any information they put out. It's the people who post on Facebook or on these new social media platforms where they just put out whatever they want and then use First Amendment rights if they get busted for lying. But we have, you know, it all becomes political because we're in, you know, our country's on the border of a civil war here, but that's political. But, you know, see, the thing is, when people tell us things that we don't want to agree with, well, it's all lies. Even if it's factual truth, it's all lies. Because this person on this website has the real proof that they got from somebody who investigated somebody who went underground and did this and knew somebody whose aunt was part of this, blah, blah. And it's all BS. And, so I listened to what people said, and if I heard several people saying the same thing, I then did it with my stuff and said, oh, okay, it seems to work because it was an elementary level. But then you find out, oh, well, there's more to it, and what I said wasn't exactly accurate. But again, for a beginner into Märklin, my videos I think are very useful, and I try to make the Märklin system easy to understand, and that's the problem. The guys that are 50-year pros with Märklin start, you know, rivet counting. That's not quite right. It's like the AC argument. That's not quite right, you know, and you get some guy with a degree in a doctorate in electrical engineering, and he's going to poke holes when you talk about power flow through an AC system versus a DC system when you're explaining it to a base level person. Yes, at certain levels, things change, but at a basic level, what I'm saying is true. Yeah, let's get Monsville over 100 subs. They've got a great channel. You guys need to check Monsville out, especially if you're into quality old British trains. Even though Monsville is Australia, and I haven't seen if they have Aussie trains, but they have a lot of old Trying and Hornby classic models that are just gorgeous. The ones that you could throw a grenade at and they'd keep running. Yeah, and 156 Andrew, that's me. I did not have goals. There are people that go on YouTube with goals. They want to they want to get big. they'll even say, oh, I don't really worry about, but they want to get big. I'm always amazed, and I do mention, wow, I just passed this number, because I'm still just, holy crap, Batman, look at what's happened today. But my humility kicks in, because I can talk about I have X number of subs, but the stuff that I want people to watch is the least watched stuff on my channel. And I talk about that all the time. You know, the stuff that is the dearest to me, that is the stuff I want. If anything of mine were to go viral, it's the stuff that's the least watched on my channel. Because that's the stuff that is closest to my heart. I love the trains. I love my European trains. And I'm glad when hey, here's a new model, and it gets a couple of hundred views. But I could get 10, 20 emails saying, oh man, I love this video about your class, this and that. That new locomotive, or your ICE3, and blah, blah, blah. And they ask me questions. I love that stuff. But those 10 emails saying how they love my one Märklin video don't nearly make me feel as good as the one video saying, I loved your latest Matt Clark episode, or I loved your latest parody song. Or, wow, Joyce did a good job singing that song. Or, wow, the lyrics you wrote to this were funny. Because those are the two biggest things. That's why I put them on this channel, is the Matt Clark and the parody songs. Those are my two favorite things I put out there. Oh, that's awesome. Broke, yes! Cool. Yeah, the Blue Tiger will make an appearance again, I'm hoping, next week. The Blue Tiger runs beautifully. My first Mahano, and it is beautiful. I love it. It was a wonderful gift. Dirk, again, what a surprise. And the rail pool I got from Andy 81E, that 186 rail pool. Two amazing locos. Both are fantastic runners that I basically got for free. And again, if these people ever said, hey, you know, that was a nice loco, I will gladly return the favor. You know, and we talk about pay it forward. I've given things to people, and people have now given things to me. And I never feel like people should give me things for free, because I'm doing well. I don't need free for me. I'm just, I bought enough already. But when people offer it, I'm not going to turn it down. And like I said, Joyce is amazing. I am so, the beer cars Joyce picked, if I'm wondering what a C3070 is, that's what you just said. I gotta find that other one now. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Come on, where are you? You're in here somewhere. You're in here somewhere. Don't mind me. I'm ignoring you all. See, this one. I've actually seen a car with this logo in Germany. I've actually seen this one on a train going by. You know, there it is. But, oh, I mean, Joyce did an amazing job. The selection she chose, I would not say, oh, why'd you get me that one? She just picked a bunch out, but this guy, oh my goodness. I know it's just a generic beer wagon, like so many they do, but what a beautiful car. When I look at a car, some of it may be shaped, like with locomotives, there's something shape. I do like the more modern era, rocket shaped looking stuff like my ICE3. Otherwise, it's liveries. And that's just a gorgeous car. The colors, just what a standout group of, what a standout. It's beautiful. For a simple little beer car. It's beautiful. I am just blown away by it. Yeah, and I totally appreciate that, Brian. And like I said, I am totally thrilled that you gave those to me. It saved me buying them, and it's probably, I think it's as many as I need with what I had bought and what you gave me. And I can't thank you enough for that, and I probably haven't thanked you enough for that. I should be thinking about it more and more. And then, let's see, let's go back to, and then I showed you this one earlier, but oh my goodness, that is just a gorgeous livery. That is just beautiful. Joyce nabbing that, she had to have nabbed that because I think she nabbed the prettiest cars Mark had in that collection. Now, I went through, like I said, Joyce finally showed me the pictures of the ones she didn't take, the ones she didn't get from Mark. But wow, wowsy, wowsy, wowzers, as they say. And I know I showed these all to you before, but I just love that livery. Probably because of historical name. Stauffen was the family name of a series of emperors in the Holy Roman Empire in the 12th and early 13th century. Frederick Barbarossa, Henry VI, and Frederick II. Stupamunde, the wonder of the world. Although that nickname was not given to him originally for a good reason. But yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think 14 cars here, 13 or 14 beer wagons here. And they're all awesome. Joyce did a great job. And yeah, if Mark ever sees this, or I can text him or email him. We stay in contact with each other. And I'll probably ask him for a few more. Or tell him to hold them next year till gets. All right, thank you for hanging out with us, Rick. It's always a pleasure to see you and Pauline, both on your channel and when you visit us here. Wasn't it wild to have the Rolling Stones with the #1 album? Beatles went #1. You'd think it was 1965 again. The Beatles had the #1 album or #1 song in the UK. Rolling Stones had the #1 album in the UK. It's 1965 all over again. But yeah, I'm excited for these Brava cars. It's more motivation to finish the project I'm working on and get it done. But I still have easily 12 to 20 hours of work, which is tonight, tomorrow, and hopefully done tomorrow. But that's the one thing what I'm trying to do. Yes, I was thinking that, EFO. I could use it with those. It would be, and I think it would be a very wonderful locomotive to work with them on top of using that ocean blue and cream beige, ocean blue and beige class 218 or even the 220. But to run those with a steamer, my brain just says they would look better with a steamer. And a BR50 would be, BR50s were mostly freight, but they were used in passenger service too. But like I said, Joyce, that was the first steam locomotive Joyce had seen really up close. When we went to Triberg, and it was just outside the train station at Triberg, and just how big it was. Because I didn't know the BR50s were that big, even if I'd seen models of it for sale or in shops. I didn't pay attention to, scale, whatever. And again, but yeah, it's a cool looking locomotive. I'm slowly realizing I do love the Class 01 and the Class 50s of German steam. Any of the, the Class 50, the Class 52. I do think I like those. There's just something about them. Otherwise, I tend to go by the model. Like, in terms of production appearance, that PR8, can I get to it in time? Probably not. Nope, it went around. I'll have to catch it next time it comes through. We'll do the bridge view. Yeah, Emma, speaking of which, Emma's pulling a beer train. And I'm have to take some of these beer cars out and put them on the Emma train for the hell of it. But yeah, here comes the PR8 right around the corner now. There. Now, literally, I don't think that's a cool looking locomotive. I am always impressed by the engineering that steam locomotives required and the work that went to make them. I'm always impressed by that. So I won't say it's an ugly locomotive. It's not sexy if any steam locomotive. Well, like the A4s are kind of sexy. All right, let's face it. They look like a... Never mind. And the German streamliners look even more like it. Like a woman's bedroom appliance. Or certain men's bedroom appliance, however. Be that as it may. I have trouble calling... But there are certain cars you kind of go, oh, that's a sexy car. But as far as the locomotive goes, the PR8 isn't sexy. But that PR8 is awesome because it was a used and abused model. I actually fixed it up, and it runs beautifully. With the help of my buddy Jean Ricard, who talked me through it on the phone, told me what to do. And it's a beautiful runner, and it runs better every time I run it. And it's just... I just have a proud father-son relationship to it or something like that. Or, the little engine that could. It's just, what a, it's an old beat-up toy. It's the same thing with some of the stuff I got from Horse. This stuff has been sitting and neglected in a basement for years. And that's not a comment on Horse. It's just, he lost the space and stuff to run his trains. And he just had no time to do it anymore. And that's why he was so happy to give me all this stuff. It was going to somebody he thought would appreciate it, which I do. It's not my era, but the quality of the workmanship of the toy is great, even if, oh wait, this car doesn't even have seating. What? Back in the 1960s, they didn't even come with seats in some cases. The cheapest versions just had the shell. Yes, I said bedroom appliance. Yeah, exactly. We're talking TV. Jean Ricard, that's just... And again, maybe that's what it is. It's a classic Märklin. But I love that locomotive as much as I love, quote, any locomotive. My ICE4 is gorgeous, but I think the motor in it is not quality, or as good a quality as it needs to run 10 or 11 cars. It struggles. If I put it on a flat, short loop, it runs fine. But the minute I put it on my main layout and try to get it to go up, it just, My IC3, on the other hand, runs beautifully. And I would think they probably have the same motor. Wow. I can go days without getting a text, and then all of a sudden, while I'm on my live stream, I'll get 10. Well, we know you're home. Now, see, I was going to come up with a different pun. See, instead of a pendo dildolino, or a pendoline dildo, just a dildolino. That's right. We talk about anything here except politics and related topics. And yeah, it's possible. I mean, it ran beautifully when I first got it, but, you know, that's why I talk about in first impression videos. Only time will tell. And since I expanded it up to a 10-car train, it does not run well. I'm sure if I cut it back down to 5, it would run fine. But I just don't think, and you got to remember, Rayman, I'm sure you would have known this more than me, but maybe not, is the reason it took over almost 3 years from the time Märklin announced they were going to release it to the time they did. In fact, a year and a half after Pico released their ICE4, is because Märklin was having problems with it and recalled it twice. They actually had them boxed and shipped out and had them recalled because problems. And one of the problems was decoder issue, electrical line decoder issues, and the other problem was motor related. So that's why in early 2021, they're like, yeah, it'll be out in April. And then, nope, it won't be out till the end of 2021. It was originally scheduled for the end of 2020. Then they put it back to April. Then they put it back to June. Then they put it back to the end of 2021. And then I think it came out in 2022, early 2022. I'd have to go back and see when it finally, I got mine. Because I got the first series. No, mine doesn't vibrate. No, my phone is a monster phone. My phone is a small tablet. I got the Z Fold. Hey, we had dictaphones when I started my teaching career, and then they all disappeared. How about Alexis Maximus? Well, that's the funny thing, because, you know, the trains in Matt Clark all had very, very interesting names, shall we say. To be honest, I like the warship class. I don't know why, but I like the warship class of UK steam locomotives. Or were they diesel? I love the warship class. My friend Tim JD has a bunch of them, and I love them. When he's running them, I'm just hoping, okay, did you run more than one? Could you run a couple of them? Especially in that British Rails Maroon or that LMS Maroon. Oh my God, I love those. Warship equals shrunk V200. But Britannias are pretty. A4s, A3s, I like. All the variations of, you know, and I know Pacific, you know, there are many different classes of locomotives that are technically Pacific locos. But that always just seemed to be sort of the standard, you know, a 462. Battle class. Sad face warship. And the Deltics. The Deltics are the ones that look a little bit like some of the older German diesels. Now, I will tell you this. When I first saw Deltic models on people's channels, I thought they were ugly trains. I really did, like, damn, that's an ugly diesel. Blasphemy. I apologize. Then I went to the York Railway Museum and saw the real thing. It was like, wow, this is cool. And all of a sudden the models are okay. I saw the real thing. I saw a real Deltic at the York National Railway Museum, and all of a sudden my opinion of Deltics changed quite a bit. And now whenever I see a Deltic running on somebody's rail fanning video or models, I'm like, oh, look, there's a Deltic. Though some have changed, some forever, not for better, have gone, and some remain. It's not a Pacific, it's a Britannia. It's a train. It's a choo-choo. I have taught Kyan a new bit, and I would love to get him doing it on stream, but he now recognizes my rail jets. Because anytime I'm running my rail jets, even on the live streams, but when he's over, I'll start the trains up. He's like, okay, Opa, run the trades. And if I have rail jets on, the first time the rail jet passes me while I'm sitting here with him, I'll go, ooh, rail jet! So now he does it. Every time the rail jets are out, he's like, rail jet! And I go, I like the rail jet. And Kyan will go, I like the rail jet too. No, I probably have never painted those 3Ds. Someday I will sit down and start working on my layout again. Every time I work myself up to start working on something else happens and I lose all that motivation. Because I literally have to build myself up. I really have to psych myself into doing it. Like, I'm not doing any model painting right now because I am working on, and this is not the big project I'm working on, but I am slowly working on a big gulch diorama, which includes a plastic model of the original Black Mamba train, which is based on the Union Pacific Big Boy. But the main buildings, and I also have figures that are done and figures I have to paint and other figures I have to repaint. And it is very hard for me to paint. I loved painting buildings. I loved painting my Warhammer, well, my Lord of the Rings Warhammer stuff. And I can't do it anymore. I can't. I grab a paintbrush and the hand just goes nuts. I think some of you might have, if you ever watch this live stream and wondering what I'm doing, like sometimes you'll see me and I'll be twiddling stuff to keep my fingers busy because otherwise they just sit here and shake. I just sit here and shake. I just go my hands are shaking all the time, so I actually fiddle with stuff because it actually helps stop my hand from shaking. But when I'm trying to paint like window trim or small details on windows, I just can't do it anymore. I just, that's one of the reasons why I put a block window with an exhaust here, because I'm thinking of trying an airbrush and seeing if that will help some of my problems. But you still can't do fine detailing with an airbrush. You still have to get in there with your hand and do certain things. And it's frustrating. It's getting harder to build stuff. It's getting harder. For example, yesterday, Kyan took apart a couple of these model cars I have that I let him play with. He's in the, let me take it apart and analyze its pieces. It comes apart, so let's take it apart. And he even takes the rubber wheels off some of the tires. And I'm sitting here trying to get them back on the wheels, the tire on the wheel, and my hand's shaking. I'm like, and my family will tell you, I can grab a glass or a cup for a drink, and I will start to walk from the kitchen to the living room, and the drink will go flying because I have hand spasms. And woo! Now, a lot of people have worse situations. I understand that. It just, unfortunately for me, it's what I deal with, and so I have to really motivate myself to do it. including trying to build some things for this layout. Hey, Steve, how are you? Welcome in. Hey, hello, Rick from Folks Bailey. How are you? Yeah, Robin Hood. Now, I've seen Robin Hood, models of Robin Hood, and I do like that one. So that's the Britannia class, which I think I knew. Yes, Raymond. NNZ would be a nightmare. You're absolutely right. And all respect to people who have N-scale and deal with the handshakes. I'm just saying my problem is I can't deal with them. If people can, awesome. I struggle. But the key is, I used to get mad about it. I used to get frustrated. Now, I just run my trains, and when I work on something, I'm happy. And if I'm not feeling it, I got my little world here. In some ways, I do enjoy this little world, but I've been stockpiling things to work on the Delmenhorst side. And it's just going to take that, get it over the top. All right, well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you, hi. Good Yule. Because I don't think I'll see most of you unless people visit. Well, wait, Andy wasn't doing his live stream this Sunday. That's right. I believe that's correct, right? Hot Dog Pilot, you're not doing a live stream this Sunday because it's Christmas Eve and family stuff. Tomorrow. Okay, well, I'll try to keep an eye out for tomorrow because I will be doing Artie's live stream. Unless I'm like really, really close and want to get it finished before Artie's, and then I might say, Artie, I'm coming in late, or I might just be working in the background, but I can't work on it and talk to people because... Hey, Raymond Anthony, how are you, sir? Märklin HO, quality you can run on your layout. Everybody's got their catchphrases. Everybody's got their phrases. What's the Rapido one? Rapido Canada? They're always quoting it. Hey, I mentioned Artie, and there he is. I didn't even have to say it 3 times. I don't have a catchphrase. I have a catchphrase. My catchphrase has gotten too long. The funny thing is, I started with happy trains. I used to always say happy trades. I don't know why I started saying that. I think I originally did it sarcasm because somebody was giving me grief that my layout wasn't proper or this. I said, I'm just happy with my trains. They're just happy trains. It's just a happy train world. I'm not worried if the scenery's not right or whatever. It's a happy little train world. Happy trains. And I think that happened, and then I just was doing one of my early live streams and was just feeling snarky, and I said, all right, everybody, happy trades, take care. And so that's what it became. And then, because I was doing a German channel, I thought, well, I really should say some stuff in German. So it became, because whenever Joyce and I say goodbye to everybody in Germany, it's always Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. We always say both. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss. We always say both of them. Yep, that's it. That's it, Andy. Rapido, your fast track to model railroading fun. Oh, I probably have a catch gesture too. I always do that little hand fling out. Take care, everybody. All right, good night. Take care, Ifo. Merry Christmas to you. Good Yule. But I have done live streams on Christmas Eve in the past, in addition to my Friday live streams, but definitely this year not happening, and definitely not happening this year because I'm just too busy with too many things. And Joyce and I still have a lot of wrapping to do, and we got to get that done over the next few nights. And the jest is only known to those who have seen you at work. But that's my thing, Leslie. I'm always, I'll be saying choose and take care, everybody. And I have that little half wave. Starts as a salute and goes to a finger point. Take care, everybody. Now, I've done that for years, and I just realized I suddenly was doing it at the end of my live stream. So I just combined everything. I'll be saying choose and happy trains. Take care, everybody. So I've got a massively long gesture. Now, you know, unfortunately, by the time I realized I had my own catchphrase, all the cool ones were gone. You know, Heath has got model citizens. Good evening, model citizens. And I thought, what a clever pun. You know, model train guys and the phrase a model citizen. Hey, model citizens. You know, you got, hey, train crew, how y'all doing? You know, there are people that have got some great track gang. That's another. I think Ray Bobel does track gang. Hey, track gang. Two digits rampant. Ah! I just always thought it was funny that what started off as a simple taunt became one of the nastiest meaning hand gestures in the UK. You know, British archers teasing the French about you and all your armor are scared of these two fingers, you're scared of these two fingers, and now it's considered obscene. All right, Dirk, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Well, the thing is, even though it's considered obscene, I've seen it done in British shows for years. I mean, I've seen it in Monty Python. I've seen it in Are You Being Served? I saw it in The Young Ones. You know, in America, you couldn't show a middle finger on TV until the last 10 years, 15 years, and even then it can only be done after a certain time. You know, on broadcast TV. I could do it anytime, you know. I just remember in high school learning about Italian and French hand and arm gestures and all the variations that they all have subtle different meanings from the, the very short one, that, to the very exaggerated one with the fingers extended and wagging the hand. They all have subtle meaning differences. So there's two, and although they're basically saying the same thing, there are subtle levels of intensity and meaning to them that are different. And you see little children do that in school. They'll do the thumb the nose, and it's like, do you know where that came from? And you know what you're really saying there? Hark! I hear a wifey poo. Is your chair empty? Yeah. Okay, well then, I shall bring El Mike over to you. Oh, it was already on. Yeah, it must be there.
Okay.
You'll probably have to refresh it or something to see the...
No doubt.
Well, put the mic where you want it, where you got room for... Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. I'll do your whatever. I'll give you your whatever.
So, hi everybody. Hi Leslie. Hi Tom. Hi Finnerton. Hi Randall. Hi Karen. Hi Jean. Nice to see you too.
Speaking of which,
hear you or
she needs a catchphrase. Else? She needs a catchphrase, and maybe we need an entrance theme for her when she starts coming down. Oh wait, no, that's the strip.
Yeah. Silly you. Oh, you have 35 likes. Hi, Andy.
Yes, your birthday gifts went over quite well.
Oh, well. Yeah.
You say that so cocksure of
Why
yourself.
would they not go well? Merry Christmas, you guys. Hey, Monsville. Hey, Steve.
Did you see this yet?
Actually, no, I haven't. Okay,
Yeah,
got to load it up on my phone.
Exactly what I didn't want it to do, but it became a Christmas present. That card's important.
Yep, yeah.
I can't load it into the central station without it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you like have one thing under the tree, so.
What?
You like have one thing under the tree. So, it's pretty.
It just looks like a radio bond. Honey, it looks just... Yeah, but look at that. Like, they got the tables are offset color to look more realistic.
Okay, nice.
Windows at different...
Hi, Joseph. I'm a Christmas angel. That's different. Oh, yeah. I went and dug them out for him. I wasn't really sure. There was just some things in there. I'm like, I don't know. I made the order.
Oh, little town of El Paso, how still we see the light.
Anthony's putting you in a Christmas spirit. Oh, look at all Emma's pulling.
Yeah, Emma's got
I don't think I've ever seen her pull more than like one.
Yeah, Emma normally only pulls one, but Emma's doing just fine.
Got the Christmas tree.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
They're all running fine right now. In fact, I had two of them actually blowing steam, and then they ran out. So I was going to stop them and refill them.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Christmas one was really
my suggestion to you, and I don't know if you can do it.
Oh, yeah? Well, my suggestion to you is... Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
For your... this chair feels low. For your... Oh, heck. Your New Year's live feed is just put on all the trains or as many trains as you want or can fit that you bought this year.
Oh, hell. I'd need much
You need a lot more track than that. Well, maybe
track.
pick your 6 favorites that you bought this year. How's that? Hey,
Yeah, the Twin
Raymond.
Decks will be running next week.
Keeps changing. It's a top chat. Even though I don't do anything. I miss stuff that way. It's weird.
Where is he? Would you hand me the big black Rick Bailey coffee mug? Big
Oh.
black.
This one.
Yes, that's the only one that's big and black.
No, I had to see what you were looking for, I guess. You know the song they used for the Applebee's date light song and change it to Christmas song? At the moment, I can't think of what that song is.
What song?
Applebee's date light song, probably date night song. Change it to a Christmas song. I sorted all the gifts.
Okay.
I put them in boxes that could go in boxes. Not as many this year.
Not as many. They were all bigger. It felt like there were more.
Just things that need to go into boxes. A lot of them came in their own. Classic humor, the young ones. Okay. Alright, nights, Karen. Merry Christmas.
Oh, hi and bye, Kieran. Again, and somebody else I didn't see.
Didn't see come in. So he told me hi when he came in. What are you doing? Oh, you're trying to
Yeah, and
get him smoking up, huh?
I keep overfilling.
Is he the only one that you can add that to?
No, I've got 3 of them,
Okay, cool.
but only 2 of them work. The one Rheingold doesn't work.
Gotcha. Well, you know, it's
I
not
hope I didn't
crazy.
mess
It's
him
got
up.
some age on it.
No, the Christmas one here, he works wonderfully.
He does work very well. He is a
He
young-
really blows the smoke.
He's
the
a
Flying
younger
Scotsman
train.
will blow the smoke, but... Oh, wait, he's right there. Quick, stop, come back. Darn it, I missed him. Oh, it's this one anyhow.
Hi, Monsville. I think I said hi.
Oh, I love the young ones. Loved the young ones.
Yes, you do. So how many trains have Christmas cards? Oh, that has...
Only the Christmas train has Christmas
All
cards.
right. You got a couple of your beer cards
Yeah.
on Emma.
Emma is pulling the basic beer wagon.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
ones
pulling
that you
any of
already
the-
had. Right. Hi, Lee.
Come here, a little closer. Yeah, I just wish I knew why this guy suddenly doesn't work.
Yeah, wasn't there a big thing like don't overfill them?
Yeah, you can only fill them so far.
Finger don't overfill them.
But this one, I think, burned out last year.
Gotcha.
It was acting weird. And
Well, we're not steaming yet. Anyway, hi to anybody I missed. Oh my goodness. I got the cards picked up. I said I sorted the gifts.
well, we'll see if he works this time. Every night, it's like 1 out of 10 times he'll work.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, the other one isn't doing it either.
Well, he was earlier.
I might just
Sometimes
have
it
to
takes a
burn
few
some of
minutes
it
for him to get
off.
going.
Yeah, I know.
I may
it
not
does
have
signal
given him
work.
enough, to be honest.
Well, okay. Who knows? Oh, Lynn's here. With Kai.
Oh, Lindy's
I was
here.
gonna text
Hey,
her.
Lynn and Chris. he's starting.
Do you have to get it down to 35, Leslie? To 30? Can't you keep it at 35, or is there something? You need to say hi to your grandson.
Yeah. I have dangerous weapon in my hand.
Fair enough.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time where we ask all our viewers to plug their ears for a moment while Joyce and I greet our grandson.
Hey, Artie.
Kyan! Hey, Kyan! Opa loves you! Hey, Kyan!
you.
Woohoo, Kyan! Are you seeing all the steamers going?
Yeah, lots of steamers
Steam
today.
trains! We got real choo-choos
Steam
going,
trains,
Kyan!
steam trains.
Real choo-choos going. Don't think we had too many new people, but if you are new to the channel, this is my wife Joyce, and Lindy Loves is my daughter Lynn and her husband Chris, my son-in-law, and Kyan is my grandson, but who occasionally appears with me in some videos.
Artie says hi, Master Pan. I
Well,
know it's correct, but
Yes, addressing a young person.
yes.
See, every now and then I see
Given the
just a little bit of smoke
situation.
coming out of the Rheingold there, but
Okay.
and the Flying Scotsman is putting out just a little. You can see just a faint,
Oh yeah, I can.
yeah.
Yeah. Just a wee bit.
But yeah, the Christmas one was smoking big time earlier. It was awesome.
Does Kyan like American trains also?
Yeah, I mean, he sees trains and he gets excited.
Well, I don't know. I sat with him where we stopped for a train, and it was dark, so he couldn't see it as well.
Right.
And he was a little interested to very annoyed. It was a long one, and we were very close to home. What happened to the other two wives? That must be a story. Yeah, that they take up too long.
What?
Well, you know, the only trains I ever, the trains near us are all transport trains. And yeah, they can be super long. And they load up, probably 3 or 4 miles away from us and still could stop on the tracks. Yeah.
But yeah, Kyan Kyan doesn't understand basically different types. I think he understands steam locos, choo-choos, but they're all trains
That's
to
right.
him, and they're all choo-choos to him.
We were coming back from that shower. That's when we got stopped.
Right. Well, he was tired and cranky by then.
So yeah, that was a good hour and a half car drive. When he was at a party, a lot of new people. He did very well there. But yeah,
he
he
really
was tired.
does well in situations where you expect kids to not do well. He's very exceptional at that.
That was a baby shower. We were trying
He
to give
had
him some
several-
ideas of
he
what
had-
almost 3 looks like.
He had a couple of key roles in our son-in-law's wedding, and
empty
when it was
cold
time
trains.
to do it,
Huh.
he did it.
Well, indeed, Artie. At least in real life. I will say, Anthony doesn't have any trains on his layout that would annoy the drivers too badly. I didn't turn the camera. I don't know if you can.
So what? Oh, you're right. You're not on camera.
I don't know if I need to be.
I don't know.
15,000-foot empty coal train. Yikes. I'm not sure that's safe. Well, Fitterden, you have your passions. That's how you need to think of it. It's a passion. It'll make you cry.
The thing is, for example, when I got my first model railjet, the next time we went to Germany and I saw a railjet, I was probably more excited that time than when I saw them the first time. I always loved them, but when I saw one first time at a station, wow. But then I got my model railjet, and then we went to Germany and saw them. It was like, wow. So yeah, there's something about that exposure. Like I said, the Deltic in the UK, when I saw the models in that, I was like,
oh
man.
my goodness. Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi,
and Herb.
You
Hi, how
guys
have you
are
guys
having
been?
a brown Christmas. That's crazy in Alberta. We're green down here, quite honestly.
We had a little bit of snow earlier this week where it actually covered the ground and was gone within a couple hours.
Yeah. Wow, they attempted a triple empty coal train. Holy moly. That's not cool. Oh, except for the beach.
Well, what is that? That's just under 4 miles.
Yeah, wow.
Or about 4 miles.
That's a long train.
Indeed. That's a long.
Long, empty train.
Well, Merry Christmas to you all out there in British Columbia.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, it's getting frustrating because I don't get remotely the Christmas spirit when it's 40 degrees and either rainy or whatever. I need snow on the ground. And that's going to be the same thing it's been the last few years where I take all the Christmas decorations down, I put them away, and then we finally get a big snowfall. And some people have left their stuff off, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it looks like Christmas, except it's a week after Christmas.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we take our tree down fairly quickly just so we can get our living room and everything back to normal.
Yeah, we're going to have a very warm Christmas.
Yeah.
Not quite record-breaking, but close.
Yeah, it's going to be close to, what, 60 Fahrenheit?
Almost 60, yeah.
Yeah, almost 60.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, what, about 18?
Yeah. But, my
Celsius?
meteorologist on that, they're like, when's the last time we had snow on Christmas? And it was last year.
We had a little bit of flurries.
No, we had a measurable snow last year. And I don't remember it either.
Oh, that's right, we did. It came in Christmas Eve night and was there. When we got up in the morning, there was some snow on the ground.
Okay, I don't know.
Just a dusting.
Yeah, well, it was at least an inch.
Yeah. Well, Artie, you probably got a 50-50 chance of a blizzard or it being 50 degrees. Because we tend to get our biggest snowfalls anymore mid-January to mid-February, and then another one sometime in March. When the same ones in Tuesday. Well, not necessarily, because I can go to Indiana where a 2-car train can span 2 states. Any border. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I mean, that's climate change because, if you go back to the mid-1800s, all the stereotypes were very heavy, snowy Christmases for the Dickensian world of Bob Cratchit and Ebenezer Scrooge. But as a kid, now Joyce can look up the history and they'll say I'm wrong, but as a kid it felt like not all, but most Christmases were white Christmases. And now it's like one every 7 years is white. And we definitely have a lot more Christmases where it's 50 degrees than when it's snowy. Never fear, Joyce is here.
Hey, Raymond. Oh, yeah. Bud messaged me.
AJ messaged you?
Yes.
Oh, right, it's on Google.
Oh, I bet they don't. Depends on where he's driving. It's not supposed to snow for Christmas already. It's summer.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah, winter was yesterday. Well, I guess today's the first full day. Another gale. Go figure. Gales. What you looking at?
A disaster.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well, I will have to restart.
Yeah. You can do that upstairs.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to do it upstairs.
Oh.
You're supposed to entertain the troops while I was doing this.
Oh, sorry. Mostly, I don't know. Just Randall's telling us a very sad story. Now they're doubling them up. It makes the drivers unhappy and everybody else. And they bust a knuckle going up a 2% grade.
That's a coupler.
I understood that.
Oh, okay.
You know, I really didn't know that, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Knuckle couplers.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Oh, now it's steaming. Did you add more to it? No?
Choo!
It took him a
All right,
while.
we gotta get that guy on camera again.
Woo. Well, he definitely showed up on the bottom thing there. Okay. Lock up your trains. Woo. So February, this February, coming up soon.
Yeah, he's coming here in February.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my best. The Flying Scotsman does. I probably am not putting enough
before
in.
we get there. Interesting.
I have to read the instructions to see if I'm doing it wrong. But yeah, that one puts it out.
Yeah, it's a really good
The
smoker. Again,
01 puts it out.
I'd say it's a younger train, but at this point is it 10 years old? Maybe not that old. 5?
6 or 7. Well, no, it can't even be that long because how long have I been in the hobby? 8 years? So about 5.
Yeah, and it wasn't right away. We had the G scale or whatever the heck the old ones were, and I was just a little tired of them. They looked so cheap.
Yeah, the G scale, 1 scale, El Cheapos. Oops.
Oh, okay.
Well, the guys on the floor, we haven't looked into them in a while, but they're running. We got that Mallard steamer.
Yeah, they're running fine. It doesn't seem
Lock
right.
up your post, ladies.
We were told to lock up your trains. I didn't get it either, but
Oh, well, Artie coming.
yeah.
Lock up our trains because he's threatening to always take my railroad.
Right, I know.
Oh, right. Well,
I got
okay,
that.
then I don't know why you're saying.
Well,
All right, never
yeah.
mind. I don't know. I don't know what you don't know. You're confusing
Oh, man.
me. You're hurting my head. No, the brain in my head. Yeah, the Flying Scotsman never really started blowing it too heavy. Might not have put enough in it. turn that one on. Flying Scotsman was on. I'll reboot it. Hey, Stormy Sky, it's Steve. Hey, Steve, welcome in. Seems a waste to haul dead locos.
I understood that.
Well, that's just crazy, Randall. That's the problem. How can we do this quickly, the quickest and cheapest way possible for us, even if it causes more problems down the road?
Any
They don't
problems,
understand that.
Yeah. Make up.
Now we got the little Prussian P8 running. Now, you can put a smoker unit in him.
Ah, gotcha.
You can put one in him. And you can put one in the blue Rheingold, who is...
Stormy Sky Rail Productions, you see?
Yep, that's... Well, this one's Steve, because there's a couple of different people it can be.
Gotcha.
But, see, they're people up yours, because not only are they rail fanners, they're weather chasers.
Yeah, right. That is cool.
See, Joyce is a big weather geek.
Yeah, weather nerd, yeah.
I'm not, but she is. Wait. Weather nerd, yeah. Geek or nerd?
Nerd.
Nerd. Why not geek?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, come on. Why not?
That's the term. All right.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas, Monsville.
Have a good day, Monsville. Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks for coming in.
Well, where are you going for the next trip? Are you going back to Asia?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to my next trip. I'm just not looking forward to the flight. Geek is a nerd with social skills.
Oh, I see.
See, to me, they were always...
Yeah, I don't know.
Nerd was academic, geek was hobby. Nerd was the kid that was all about math and science at school
Oh,
and
that's so
no
wrong.
social skills. Geek was the kid that was into comic books, into whatever hobby thing. Geek was hobby related,
I
nerd
saw
was
a
academic
graph
related.
that you
So
guys
Joyce is
were
both a
gonna
geek
be-
and a nerd.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a geek about a lot of things.
He's stealing pretty well.
I'm a nerd. Oh, there goes the quick. Where is it?
Oh, you're going to
There-
India.
Oh, you can't quite see it.
26 hours on planes. Yuck. Yuck, yuck.
The you can't quite see it, but there you go. Yeah, now you can see the Flying Scotsman is steaming away. Woohoo! That's two. Now they're gonna pass each other steaming. There we go. We got two of the three that can steaming. Come on, Rheingold. Your buddies are showing you up. Come on. Step it up, Rheingold. Now Rheingold's got the best sound.
There he does. How long did
Oh.
How long did that couple say?
Is it? Oh, it's got just a little bit. I saw just like little thin.
I wonder too if I've seen a little long one. How long did that couple we saw in?
Wait, are you telling me to give the funnel a blowjob? No, not right now. Can't do that live on air.
Where were we? Place anyway. We ran into that couple from Australia. They said they went over the North Pole. No, they didn't. They went over the South Pole.
Yeah.
How long did it take them? Tell them. I thought it was.
I don't remember.
Not,
Yeah, we ran into them in Rothenburg.
was it? That's what
Yeah,
it was.
he just puffed a couple of more,
Okay.
but it's
So
not
he's
consistent.
Sporadically puffing.
Yeah, it needs cleaned out, I think.
Oh, Finnerson says. you
Yeah,
have
but
to
I did
have
a hell of a
full
lot of
speed.
views before I got demonetized.
Put more oil in it. Getting a visa and getting all the shots. Oof.
Whew. That was cool. We had two of them going again. I had two of them going earlier, but but the thing is, the Flying Scotsman was finally really blowing it out.
They seem like it was a lot shorter, Artie. I don't know why, but I thought it was interesting. Oh, that's horrible. We're not happy how long it's going to take us to get down to you. Bodie McBoatface.
Boogie McBoatface.
You know, Americans have tried to hone in on the funny name thing, and they just don't quite do it as well.
Is that so, Miss Cockett? Silas Sumbish of the Santa Fe Sumbishes.
Well, Artie, why don't you just come to America? You know, that with that obnoxious length, but half, stay for a while, work your way to the East Coast, and then fly to Europe from there, and you'd break it up. Huh. 747s, they were 11 hours from LAX to Sydney.
Is he still smoking?
You don't have
Yeah, he's still got a
flights
little
in-
smoke going.
So, Los Angeles, they don't do flights in San Francisco? It's all further south.
Nope.
No, it isn't. It's north.
Everything I was booking with Delta was to LA.
I gotcha.
Oh, he's still smoking a bit.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, it just kind of makes sense. I like breaking it up. We've talked about that. Sort of island hopping and
Yeah, we talked about it,
Breaking it
but
up.
it was not. We
Yeah.
had to pay for it, doubled the price of the flight.
right, it just was too expensive
Yeah,
and too crazy.
because we're already flying. Yeah, it was about $2,600 from Detroit to Australia, and the minute you added, oh, let's stop off in New Zealand, it added an additional $1,800. It went
Wow.
$4,400 each
That's crazy.
round trip. No,
That is crazy, crazy, crazy.
I say all kinds of things on my live feed, but
Yeah, you do. Okay, I shall be right back.
okay. Well, I suppose I could look, but the thing is, right now I'm on Delta Sky Miles, and that was the. So I'm trying to build up my miles. $800 to fly from Kentucky to Louisiana. See, that to me is just silly. But then we have Toledo Express Airport here, which when I was young, flew to dozens of cities in North America. And now I think it flies to 4 cities. Or 3. Yeah, and they nickel and dime you for everything. Unfortunately, it is what it is. They've got the service you want, so they can jack the prices up. And yet, the money doesn't go to the people like the service workers and even the pilots and the flight attendants. It goes to investors. They jack up the prices, but they don't raise the salaries of their workers, and they lay people off. So they now have 2 guys doing the job of 4 or maybe 3, you know. 2 of you guys can do that job now. You'll work 60 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week, and we're not going to give you raises for that, but and it's just the corporate scam across the world. I don't know if it's overrated. It's still the, you know, if I want to go to Europe, it's obviously it's the only way outside of taking a boat, and those are so much more expensive now. In the United States, when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I would never fly because I hate flying. I would drive, and I love driving everywhere. I drove from Toledo, Ohio to Rapid City, South Dakota, or Sioux City, South Dakota, nonstop. Whichever one is near Deadwood. We left Toledo at 3 o'clock in the morning. We stopped for dinner in Chicago. Stopped for breakfast somewhere in eastern South Dakota, and then drove across the rest of South Dakota. So we had, you know, and then we had bathroom breaks, but there was no hotel. We just drove overnight. And I was dead that next day. Well, it was like 1,300 miles, and I did it in 20 some hours. Yeah, but now I would rather fly than drive. And I don't want to fly, but if I'm going to go from Toledo across the country, there's no question I'm going to fly. It's 2 days driving versus 3 hours flying. And other than my absolute panic fear of being on a plane, it beats being on the highway trying to do 10 miles over the speed limit while there's somebody riding your bumper who wants to do 40 miles over the speed limit, and a semi-truck that's not signaling and suddenly cuts over into your lane. And just all the insanity of driving. It's horrifying to me. But my favorite way to travel is by train. And as now is well known, that's why I'm into model trains. It was traveling by train in Germany. I fell in love with German trains and traveling by train. And I wanted to have a piece of that in my classroom when I taught about the transportation system in Germany. And then it came home, and the rest is history. It's a drug. It's an addiction. You get into model trains, and depending on your preferences is how deeply it bites into you. Yeah, they've just approved they're going to do Amtrak from Toledo to Columbus, Cleveland to Columbus, and then on to Cincinnati. Or was it Toledo to Cincinnati? I think it's Toledo to Columbus, and then you catch on. But there's a couple of questions like, why isn't there a straight one from one place to another in Ohio? But yeah, they're going to do a massive expansion of Amtrak in. Now the problem is it's still more expensive to take the train let's say from Toledo to Chicago, than it is to drive a car. And it takes the same amount of time, so there's no real advantage, or longer, there's no advantage to driving by, there's no advantage to driving by train from Toledo to Cleveland or Pittsburgh, because the cost is so much higher and the comfort isn't any better. So if we were riding German trains with the German speed variation, I would take a train from Toledo to Chicago, because in Germany it would take, that distance would take 2 to 3 hours with an ICE. In American Amtrak, it takes 4 to 8 hours with delays built in, and it's so much more expensive. Hey, good night, Haunted. Thanks for visiting with us. Merry Christmas, Jake. Take care. Yeah, and we've talked about that, Raymond. You're absolutely right. The interstate highway system killed the real thought of high-speed rail transport across the United States. But now, as we realize fossil fuels are getting so expensive and what they're doing to the atmosphere and such, we might be 20 years too late converting, but we're now looking at doing rail system. I don't know how long it would take us to get a rail system, because, again, I go to Germany and I listen to the Germans complain. And yes, trains get canceled, trains get delayed. But I find traveling by train in Germany so much more convenient and more relaxing than driving. And I would rather travel anywhere by train where somebody else is doing the driving, and I can sit there and talk to Joyce, and we can look at something together or admire what's out the windows. My train rides in the UK were amazing, because I got to actually see the UK instead of on a car where you're focusing on the road and the traffic. I got to look out the window and, oh, look, there's the English Channel. Oh, look, there's the Irish Sea. Oh, look, there's the North Sea. Oh, look at this. You know, I got to see so many amazing things. And the only time a car travel showed something awesome was when we rode with Alan, and he rode us through Snowdonia in Wales and that whole region up there. Well, they need to keep those talks up then. But yeah, I mean, and the companies are in competition with them. You know, Europe has a lot of those El Cheapo flight systems like we once had in America. You know, the $39 flight from here to here, city hopper flights and so forth. Ryanair over in Europe was big for a while, but I think Ryanair has really gone down. Really gone down. But yeah, it would be awesome to have a quality high rail system here in America. I would use it. But right now, Amtrak, Toledo to Chicago, it just financially, it's not worth it. It's 3 times the price, even if you had trying to park in Chicago, which is hell. Yeah, and that's true. You know, if you travel by road in some countries, it's very different by rail. I think in the UK, I think you can see the same things by road or by rail. I don't think there's a rail line that went through Snowdonia the way Alan drove us, but we saw a lot of beautiful scenery on all, even London to Cardiff. We saw a lot of great scenery out our train windows. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed it. And that's why I love traveling by train. Because I can finally sit and relax and look out the window and see things. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm driving Joyce and the kids cross country, and Joyce is like, oh, look at that. And I'm looking real quick, and wow, you know, I got to focus on the road. I can't look and really admire something. I have to do a quick, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
The journey under the sea to Cardiff.
Yeah, and that's
There
true.
you go.
They do, because freight is priority. Freight is money. They make money on freight. But that's what gets me. Amtrak is very expensive for the miles traveled. Joyce and I would love to we want to take a train ride across country. We want to do the one Canadian one that goes from Toronto all the way across to the Canadian Rockies and beyond. We want to do that. But we looked at the Amtrak one, and it was more expensive than if we bought airline tickets, got on the other side, and then stayed there, or much more expensive than if we just said screw it and drove. You know, it was $800 and some for the two of us to go cross country second class. Germany, I can go cross country for less than $100. I can go from Hamburg to Munich, or even Hamburg to Garmisch, for, well, about 100 euros. If I order early enough, I can maybe get it under 100.
Right, yeah, they are, Leslie.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days, I think I should go ahead and go down to the Amtrak station, and not necessarily rail fan, but just do a video on here's Amtrak and try to catch when one of the trains is coming through. Yeah, well, I think all countries would say rail travel was better back in the day. Mm-hmm. It's like flight. You know, I'm old enough to remember that, even though I didn't do it myself, when people were going on flights, they dressed up. The men put on suits, the women put on dresses, and the kids had to dress up.
Yeah, they wear pajamas.
Now you wear pajamas. With the Canadian Pacific, the Hiawatha, yeah. Well, I just forget the one, but it's like to go from Toronto to wherever, Vancouver, I think it was, the first class. We watched the channel, and the guy's a bit of an arrogant. He's got money to burn, and he and a lady friend, not his wife, not his girlfriend, but he and this lady friend still travel all the time together, and they each have their own channels, and they combine and do these travel videos where they travel together. They're very yuppie-ish, to bring back that 80s, 90s term. They're very yuppie-ish.
Gotcha, Artie.
You know, very expensive. The Trans-Canadian or whatever it is.
Yeah, fortunately, air travel, you don't see anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Air travel, you tend not to see anything, but some of the things you do get to see, like we've flown over Greenland, and to see the glaciers in full view from above, that was awesome.
Very cool.
That was a very cool view.
Agreed.
Even I looked out the window, and normally I won't look out the window. But to see the mountains and the glaciers through the mountains.
Because I was geeking out.
Yeah, Joyce was geeking. I was like, let me look. I'm like, oh, holy cow, that is beautiful. But yeah, I don't think, I mean, personally, of all the travel, air travel is the worst. I hate flying, but it gets me where I'm going the fastest. But I always hope that by flying more often, I would get over it. But actually, I'm getting worse. I had one of the most relaxing flights in terms of, it was 8 hours, 8.5 hours from Frankfurt to Detroit, nonstop. 8 hours and 40 minutes, maybe. Very little turbulence.
It was a smooth
Very
ride.
smooth flight. I admit it. And yet I was terrified the whole time. And even when we had that little turbulence, I'm like, I'm getting worse as I get older.
These are the Pendolino.
Well, I've seen, there's variations. It's, and again, Joyce and I rode first class on a railjet, and it was very nice. We didn't ride the high-end first class, the business first class, where they have amazing. But Joyce and I rode first class on an old ScotRail Class 43.
Mm-hmm.
That was being pulled by a Class 43.
Comfortable.
Oh, that was one of the nicest seats we had. It was a very cushy leather seat. It was old, but it definitely was old, but it was the most comfortable seats we had in our trip in the UK. We rode it from Edinburgh to Stirling.
Oh.
They upgraded us for like £8 or something like that from our second class tickets to first class. They said, would you like to upgrade for first class for £8? And we're like, sure. Why not? They made £8 extra. The train was going to run but again, it was amazing. It was a wonderful, very comfortable. That little Scots Rail Class 43 first class section. We were in the first car behind the 43. Beautiful view. Nice view out the windows, and the most comfortable. Now, we rode the Azuma.
Mm-hmm.
That was very nice.
Zoom.
We like the Azuma. The seats were not as comfortable as, say, an ICE3 or ICE4, but still very nice. They were not as bad as people had told us they could be. We rode GWR Class 800 from London to Cardiff. Nice. Very nice. Beautiful views. Seats were comfortable. I don't know that we rode a train in the UK where we thought, oh, these seats are bad.
Yeah, we did.
Which one?
That I can tell you, most of them. Seats were hard.
Harder seats. Well, the Transport for Rails units that we took from Cardiff up to Bangor weren't great, and then we took Northern from, we took Transport for Rails from Bangor to, I forget where we met Philip at.
Mm-hmm.
Wigan.
Okay.
I think we transferred at Wigan. And then we took a Northern, and the Northern wasn't that great. But the Azuma was okay. The Scots Rail was great. And the GWR 800 was okay. But again, not as nice as IC3 second class. Not as nice as a lot of the Regio bonds. The biggest thing with Regio bonds is when they get crowded.
Same as the Vomiter. Which train's known as the Vomiter? Oh, Voyager. That's a really big difference.
The Vomiter. Now that's what I would refer to most planes as, the Vomiter. All right, have a very Merry Christmas. Yeah, we're going to start ending our stream here, but I hope everybody enjoyed all the steamers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to end it a little early. So
y'all haven't hit the like button. Hit the like button, please.
It was a small turnout today with all the...
oh, it's so close to Christmas.
It's with the holiday,
There's a lot going on.
But all the steamers ran well. Nice job, steam locomotives. You all did a great job.
Oh, gotcha. It was... Would it lean like with the turns? That doesn't sound fun.
Come on.
We train around South Africa, around the Cape is good. Interesting.
Got it.
It'd be cold. Yeah, so he did mean the Vomiter. Go figure. Stuff we don't know about. You have anything on here? Lights that don't come off, right?
Flying Scotsman, I want you to stop.
Oh, lights that do
gotcha.
go off.
Yeah, it's only a couple of Rocos where that seems to be the issue.
Okay. Oh, that's
It's
good.
3 Rocos. Yeah, so you can close that out if you want.
Okay.
And then the guy's on the floor. But the 11 lane.
Oh, you really did take over this computer.
Yeah, I got rid of all your stuff.
Dang.
Hey, I wanted a new one, and you got the new one instead. You got a new one.
Gosh, is that so?
You've had the 2 newest new ones.
Oh, I'm going. That is not possible.
But it's true.
Huh.
Yep. You got this one, then I got my Acer, then you got the one you got now. Actually, no, I got my Acer, you got this one, and then you got the new one, because I wanted to get a new one, and my Acer, just because my Acer has such
Oh, that's cool already.
low storage. All right, well, we've come to the end of another live stream, a special one. I hope you guys enjoyed all the steamers. That's not normal that I'll do that, and I probably won't run any steamers next week. But I'll be running the new guy. And speaking of a new guy, I got to go pay for a new guy that will come in sometime a week after New Year's.
Never pay that credit card off.
Thanks, dear.
Yep.
So anyhow, on behalf of the banker
Yeah.
and myself, we want to wish everybody Merry Christmas,
Merry
Frohe
Christmas.
Weihnachten,
Mhm.
Bon Natale,
Right.
Joyeux Noël, Feliz Navidad, and Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, please stay safe and be well during this break. I will see everybody next week when we look towards a new year.
Yep.
So until we see us again, because again, I won't be on YouTube for a couple more days yet, I'm going to say thanks for everybody that supports this channel, comes in and keeps us excited to come down here and run trains for ourselves and you as well. So until next time, I'll say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trades.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you later.
Yep.